But still I hadn't dreamt nothing about me and Ed until the end. And this was cloudier, 'cause it was years away. But I saw an old couple being visited by their children, and all their grandchildren too. And the old couple wasn't screwed up, and neither were their kids or their grandkids.
Dad.
And I don't know. You tell me, this whole dream, was it wishful thinking? Was I just fleeing reality like I know I'm liable to do? But me and Ed, we can be good too. And it seemed real. It seemed like us. And it seemed like, well, our home. If not Arizona, then a land not too far away, where all parents are strong and wise and capable, and all children are happy and beloved. I don't know. Maybe it was Utah.
Welcome to Flyby Films. Once or twice a month, through the mystical form of astral projection. Let me start again. Welcome to Flyby Films. Once or twice a month, through a mystical form of astral projection, we get together to discuss films that either have been or will be forgotten. I'm Blake Collier, and on the line in Chico, California is my friend and co-host Jamison Barsotti. On this episode, we are going to be talking about what is considered by a fair portion of paid critics to be the worst of the Coen Brothers films. 2004's The Ladykillers. Jamison, to be honest, it's been so long since we've last recorded an episode, and I've kind of forgot which one of us chose this film. Can you please remind me and inform the listeners who chose it and why?
Yeah, I can. But you're right. It's been basically forever in podcast.
It's been a while since I gone and fucked things up just like I always did.
I think we've lost. Well, if any listeners survived the lull in the podcast, I think Blake just killed them.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. So I guess we'll just be talking to ourselves.
No,
That's
I didn't kill
fine.
them. I didn't kill them. I stained them.
Oh.
That sounded dirty.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So how this movie was chosen actually starts back in like early March or late February.
Okay.
So I have a book club. It's my book club. Only I get it. But
you buy the book, you decide the books, you buy the books, you read the books, and you talk to yourself about the books.
Yeah, it's just me.
You do you.
You know, yeah. It's a club of one, you know? It works. It makes me feel...
If there's an audience of one, then there can be a club of one.
Yeah, it makes me feel important. And you know what? That's what they say. Do what makes you feel important, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So...
That's right.
Quick question. Can you hear my son screaming?
Ever so faintly.
Okay.
And we are keeping all this in, including my mess up.
That yes, folks, that is not a banshee living in my house. That's my son going which is his new favorite noise.
Or as my son says, ghost banshee said boy.
Yeah, Ghost Banshee Sad Boy. My son is acting that out. So your son likes talking about it and reading about it and thinking about it. My son likes acting it out for some reason.
That's right.
But yeah, so like a month and a half ago, my friend Nate was texting
Who
the
was on
group
the
chat.
podcast?
Yes, Nate, who was on the podcast. He was texting the group chat and he was like, "Hey, it's the Big Lebowski's 25th. Yes, that's what it is. 25th anniversary. Which is happy birthday, Big Lebowski." But it made me think, in conjunction with March Madness, which was coming up. Oh, I bet you could do a slam bang bracket of Coen Brothers movies. And yeah, it turns out that there's 18 Coen Brothers movies. I'm not including Macbeth, because that was just Joel, and I'm not including their short that they did in From Paris with Love. Just full length Coen Brothers movies where they're co-directors, or where they were kind of seen as co-directors later on, because they didn't start including Joel and Ethan until I think early 2000s. I think maybe it was Intolerable Cruelty that was the first.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so for the month of March, we actually held a bracket deciding which was the top Coen Brothers movie. And yeah, so that was pretty fun. And how I kind of started it with like seeding it so that you have kind of fair whatever, you know how seeding works. Was it's basically like an initial ranking. I think seeding is kind of silly because you're basically already like playing out the bracket before it already plays out. But whatever, it is what it is. So I took the IMDb score, which is kind of a metric of how the populace thinks of these movies. And then I took the Metacritic score, which is like a measure of what the paid critics think of these movies. And
those paid critics.
I took those scores and I aggregated them, and then I ranked them by that aggregate score, and that's how I got the seeding. And it turns out that one movie sinks below the rest in all of this, which is true of any bracket, right?
Yeah, of course.
You got to have the lowest. So yeah, there will be a worst Coen Brothers movie. I don't care what you think of them. They could be God to you.
It doesn't mean that their worst is still better than the best of another director.
No. And it doesn't mean that it's good. It doesn't mean that it's great or anything. It just means that
maybe their best film is worse than the worst film of the worst director.
Yeah. Who knows? No one knows where it lands.
Yeah.
No one Blake, do you think anyone's ever done a ranking of all of the movies before?
I think some people have tried and failed.
Yeah. I think
because no one wants to watch the full filmography of Yue Bao.
Until now.
That's welcome, folks. This is gonna be our Halloween special.
Yeah. Oh man. I just remember he made a bunch of video game movies. I think he did House of the Dead. I didn't see that one, but
the only one I remember seeing, and I didn't mind it when I saw it. It probably sucks now if I went back and watched it, but it was Alone in the Dark with Christian Slater. I remember
that one.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was college. That was dumb me. That was ratting on Zanga me.
Yeah. I always wondered if if Uwe Boll was like the type of director that was actually bad, or it was just kind of fun to call him a bad director. I'm assuming that he was a bad director. Uh,
I
just
never saw a film of his that I thought was good by any metric. But I think what most people dislike about him is his general like ego.
yeah,
He constantly sounds like he thinks people are full of shit because like they think he's a bad director, and he's like, no, you're a bad reviewer, that kind of thing.
yeah, that can be a pretty big turnoff.
Yeah,
I
even for
get
the
that.
best directors.
Yeah, I get that feeling for some good directors too.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I think that's one of the reasons I have a hard time with like watching Lars von Trier movies,
Yeah,
is because he's just such a jackass, and I don't think that his art absolves him of that.
no,
So I
nope.
I think very few artists can kind of make that case. But
Yeah,
there might be a couple out there that I would argue, okay, you get a chance to be an asshole, but in this situation, I don't know. Anyway,
yeah.
so yeah, one film rises to the bottom, and it is it's the Ladykillers by the Coen Brothers. Obviously, is a Coen Brothers bracket. Um, but yeah, it's their 2004 uh, remake, reinterpretation
Yeah,
of
probably reinterpretation is probably a good way of putting it.
yeah of 1950s screwball classic of the same name, starring Alec
Yeah.
Guinness.
Hmm.
So,
Which we also watched in preparation for this episode.
I did.
Well, I watched it, so I will inform the listeners of
I
things and stuffs.
yeah. So one of yeah, we get half credit for that. But we did talk about potentially watching it. And
Yes,
so I didn't watch it, but I had it in my mind that maybe I would. I don't know if that
that's
gets me
fair.
partial credit.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that means you watched it.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
you imagined it as you thought it would be, that counts in my opinion.
Yeah, I just
That's really all
imagined it.
film is. It's your imagination
Project
interpreting what you
yeah,
see.
projected imagination. I get it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm down.
So, Jameson, we need to talk about something that has the last couple days has been making both of us very distraught. Um, we need to talk about the elephant in the room, the
Oh,
fly in the ointment. Uh, we need to talk about, you guessed it, Ari Aster in his new film, Beauregard is Fearful.
what? Wait. I didn't what?
Beauregard is Fearful. That's the name of his new film.
Bo is afraid?
Oh, I heard it was Beauregard is Fearful.
Well, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I didn't understand what your question was.
Well, no, I was just saying that this was what we need to talk about. Ari Aster and his new
Oh,
film. That it's been making us distraught the last
it
couple of days.
has it been? Well, I just told you, yeah. I texted you that it
I mean, the simple
sounds
fact that Ari Aster deigns to make another film is distressing enough.
sure. Yeah. Look, I liked I've liked his filmography more than you. I know that. But I didn't like Midsummer.
You,
I
you
liked,
mean Midsommar, as the paid critics call it.
yes. Um, and then I did like Hereditary, but I do think that in light of Midsommar, Hereditary gets a little bit worse. So,
I
um,
seem to remember, I have a very distinct memory of you texting me right after you came out of Midsommar. And you said, "That's it. Ari Aster's a hack."
yeah, I mean, I think I agree with that, and I think from what I've read in this upcoming movie, Beau is Afraid, it
You mean
does.
Beauregard is fearful.
Beauregard is fearful. Yes, um, it the reviews that I've read, the paid reviews that I've read, have not convinced me that my position is without merit or anything of that sort. I think Ari Aster, and this is something you picked up on in Hereditary. I remember reading stuff that you wrote about it, but Ari Aster doesn't like his characters, and it's really frustrating to just watch them suffer without someone in the background who cares about them. And
Hmm.
yeah, suffering is real and human, and you can, there's a place for it in cinema, but it's different to watch someone torture their characters because they just don't care about them or like them than it is to watch someone care through some sort of suffering for a person, or a
Hmm.
character. And I think I just don't have time in my life for things that are that dark, I guess. Which is really, I don't know. Like, I watch horror movies, I watch terrible things and stuff like that, but I do think that there's more going on in the movies that, that speak to me. So, I
Yeah.
don't know. You got to have that. So that's basically in a nutshell of how I feel about Ari Aster's movies so far. Hereditary had enough pizzazz and excitement and like shock value that like it masked it for me, but then Midsommar, that movie didn't help. So
I think Hereditary would have been a good film if it had been shortened by about an hour. If it had ended with the defenestration, I think it would have been a masterpiece.
that is, I think that's one of, so I will give him this. That's one of the most shocking things in any
Yeah.
movie. So, um,
But once what's her name, Margot Martindale walks into the scene, I saw the rest of the movie. I knew where it was going. I knew what the whole thing was. I was like, it's Margot Martindale. She's up to no good.
are there any other characters or like actors in films that do that for you?
I'm sure there are. I can't think any off the top of my head. Just whenever I see them, like I know there's at least one or two others that it's shocking whenever it doesn't play out the way you expect it to with them,
Yeah.
just because they played that character specifically so often.
Yeah. I
But
think
she is very specifically one of those people. So
Yeah, I think another good example is Beth Grant. She was in Faults that we talked about, um,
hmm
and uh, yeah, I think she's almost a giveaway in that movie
Yes.
because you're like, she always plays a fundamentalist.
Mm-hmm.
She, she's always kind of a little weird, so something is gonna go,
Always on the edge of unhinged.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like Ari Aster. So we can move on.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'd probably be down to watch Hereditary again, but I don't want to watch Midsommar again, and then the reviews of Beauregard is Afraid just make it sound like he's putting this guy through torture again. So, it's just...
Well, he picked the right guy at least.
Yeah. Joaquin Phoenix.
Mean, Joaquin Phoenix loves being put through torture. So, yeah. He was in the Joker after all.
And he's going to be in the sequel to the Joker.
Well, of course he is, because it's a superhero movie.
Yeah.
Always got to have a sequel. Can't just let it lie.
You can't just let it be a bad movie that happened once.
Yeah. Anyways. So I wanted to bring up one more thing.
Okay.
My wife showed me this video on Facebook because my wife is still on Facebook. And
I think a lot of wives are on Facebook.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a like they are our like tethering to family and friends.
Sure. Yeah.
And so but she showed me this video of this mother talking to her probably 2 or 3 year old son about emotions. And this kid was very intelligent. Well, I mean, within reason. Of course, he's 2 or 3, so sentence structure is not great. But you get what he's saying, and he's talking about how he was having a hard time that day with his emotions because he got angry, but and it ended with this moment where he's like, I got really angry and I got mad, and then he hugs his mom and he's like, but you still love me. And I turned to my wife and I was like, why the fuck did you bring this into my life? I don't need this right now.
It didn't warm the cockles of your heart.
Oh, it warmed it, and that's why, as a good Texas Panhandle guy, I do not need my emotions coming to the surface.
I imagine you like got all Hank Hill uncomfortable at that moment. You were like, "Oh!"
I started talking about propane and propane accessories.
That boy ain't right.
Yeah. So I was curious. How do you process emotions, Jamison? I just push them down. I just push them down and do not deal with them. I'm emotionally ignorant.
So this is an interesting question. I also think that this is an interesting question when it comes to movies too, because I don't really cry a lot. I don't think I've cried very often in my adulthood. And that's not a surprise. Like, men aren't really known for their emotions. It's a stereotype and whatnot. But how do I process them? I don't know. I don't really have like a method.
I thought you were about to say I don't really have them.
Yeah. Do you? That reminds me of there's a Sunny. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode where they're. I forget what they're talking about, but Dennis goes, "Do you guys remember emotions? Like, do you remember when we had them in high school?" And then Mac is like, "Yeah, dude, I still have emotions. Everyone has emotions. What are you talking about?" Yeah, I get emotions. I don't know. I think I I try to stay busy and not necessarily push them down. So I don't know. I deal with them. I just don't think about a methodology for dealing with them. Is all it is. Um, but movies will sometimes crack through, and I
Uh-huh.
don't know why. And
What's the
that's
most
what.
notable example of a film that cracked through?
Oh man. Well, yeah, I know that answer, but
Okay.
that's almost like cheating because it makes everyone cry. But Grave of the Fireflies. Have you seen
Never
that?
saw it.
Oh
Never saw it.
my god. Oh my
But I've
god.
heard. I've heard
Blake.
stories.
All
I've
right.
only seen one. I've only seen one Studio Ghibli movie.
Well, so this one isn't a Miyazaki movie. It's Studio Ghibli, but like it's not Miyazaki. It's I forget who the director is, but you know, it's historical
Sad Boy
fiction.
O'Callahan. Pretty sure that's who it was.
Sad Boy O'Callahan. Yeah. This Japanese Irish guy.
Yeah, Japanese Irish guy.
Um no, it was I when I was in high school I took Japanese classes at the community college nearby, and I think I was in like Japanese 2 or 3, and my teacher was like, "Oh yeah, for the final project, you have to write a paper in Japanese on this movie." And then we all had to watch Grave of the Fireflies in a classroom
Oh
and
god.
together. And so like it's coming to the end, and I'm just like trying to keep my eyes from being seen by anyone, and I'm trying to like also watch the movie and hear what's going on so I can write about it. And it's it was traumatic. I mean, not as
Sounds like
traumatic as
absolute torture.
absolute torture, but it is such a good movie, Blake. It is. It's incredible, and it's incredible how like emotionally manipulative it is. So
Well, it's unfortunate that we'll never actually cover it because clearly it has never been forgotten by anybody in the world.
yeah, no, I don't think you could forget that movie. So you'll just have to watch it on your own.
it can't be any more emotionally manipulating than the Notebook.
Well, I feel like I feel like it earns the emotion, but
Yeah,
at the
which the
same
Notebook
time,
does not, but it still does it.
yeah, but so it earns it, but then it like turns it up to 11, which is maybe where the manipulation comes in. Is like
Gotcha.
it's just
Yeah.
oh, it just keeps going and going and going and getting more heartbreaking. Um, yeah, no, Blake, if that video got you, you're
Yeah.
you're
A dead
gone.
man.
You're a dead man with Grave of the
Mm,
Fireflies.
yeah.
So
Yeah. I had two. So this is an interesting question because yes, I ugly cried at the Notebook when I first saw it, and this is long before. Well, not long, but quite a ways before my own dad had Alzheimer's. So I was already like sobbing about this thing that was about to happen, and I didn't even
yeah,
know it. Uh, but I hate that movie. I hate it with every inch of my being because I think it is the prime example of at the worst version of emotional manipulation in a moment in a movie. So,
ooh,
but more recently, I cried at When a Monster Calls, which is based
oh,
on that book. Uh, Came out a few years back. Uh, Excellent movie. So Bayona is the director. He's the one who did the Orphanage, I believe. Um,
I
and
I'm trying
had
to think if
Sigourney
I've seen
Weaver.
it. Yeah,
She had a small role in it, but uh, very good. But will make you cry like a little bitch. And then there was Waves, which was the second movie by the guy who did It Comes in the Night, I believe.
Didn't wait. I thought he had already done. Isn't it the
Oh
same guy
no, it
who did
wasn't. It wasn't in It Comes in the Night. It was Krishna or Krisha.
Krisha? Krisha,
Yeah,
yeah,
the second, the next movie he did was Waves,
yeah,
um, and that one made that one did a number on me.
yeah. I haven't seen that one yet. I've heard it's really good though.
Yeah, yeah, I liked it a lot. So
Um,
I suppose this is a good time to ask our listeners, what movie made you cry like a little bitch?
Blake,
What?
you froze.
Uh
I. Oh, is that?
oh.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep. You're back.
Oh
You're
wow.
back. No. So, uh, Trey Edward Schultz did Krisha, then It Comes at Night, and then Waves.
Okay,
So
so he did do It Comes at Night.
it's the
I couldn't
same.
remember.
It's the same guy. It Comes at Night. That I liked that. I would like to revisit it, but
That
I,
was the last A24 horror film that I was fully behind, outside of Robert Eggers. But everything Robert Eggers was gold. So,
yeah. Did you see The Northman?
oh yeah, loved it.
Yeah. Yeah. It was pretty
Loved
great.
it. Loved it. The only downside, this is my only critique, if there is a critique, not enough Willem Dafoe, not enough Ethan Hawke. Outside of that, great film.
Yeah, but when Willem Dafoe comes back as a skull,
Oh
that's
yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah.
So
And I am excited for his Nosferatu, which is apparently coming out here before too long. It
yeah,
started filming already.
yeah.
And guess what?
It's
Has Willem Dafoe in it. Surprise, surprise.
what is he? Is he going to be
Oh
Nosferatu?
no, no,
No.
no. Bill Skarsgård, which is actually a pretty good pick, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah.
Yeah,
Young Buscemi.
yeah, yeah.
Have you
Also
seen?
known as the young. Have I seen what did he actually play? Young Buscemi?
No, but have you seen pictures of them like side by side?
Oh,
They
I'm sure
like,
it's incredible.
yeah, they look alike, which is crazy because all of the Skarsgårds are really beautiful,
Yeah,
and Steve Buscemi is not. So it's like if you made, no offense to Steve Buscemi, he's just a weird looking guy. They made,
yeah.
they mentioned
Hmm.
that in Fargo, like he's a weird looking guy. That's a whole bit that they do.
And
Um,
it's kind of part of his trademark.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm not trying to be offensive, but but um, oh, where was I going with this? I lost my train of thought.
They look alike.
They do
Bill
look alike.
Skarsgård.
Yeah, it's like if you made Steve Buscemi a really attractive guy, or
That is
tried as
funny.
much as you could. Yeah,
I'll have to look that up.
yeah.
I Bill Skarsgård has largely impressed me in not only his acting but a lot of his selections. I think he was as good, if not better, than Tim Curry's Pennywise, even though I hated the movies.
Okay.
Uh, and
Did
he
you
was
like?
great in Barbarian,
Yes.
and he was great in the first season of that Castle Rock show that was the Stephen King television show that
Oh,
lasted 2 seasons. The first
yeah.
season was great. Never saw the second season, but apparently it wasn't very good because it got canceled. So
I watched it. It wasn't good.
yeah, that's unfortunate. The first season was good though,
I, he was the best part of the first season. I
easily.
don't
Yeah,
I don't think I loved the first season, but I did. I thought his character was compelling.
yeah.
But yeah, so he was good in Barbarian. I really liked that a lot. Oh, you mentioned something about it. Did you like the Tim Curry? Do you like the Tim Curry one?
I like the Tim Curry one because of Tim Curry. I
Okay.
don't think any of the movies have been great,
Yeah.
but I think the people they've gotten to play Pennywise have been incredible across the board.
Yeah. I think I agree with that. I think I remember watching the TV movie and just being so underwhelmed outside of the Pennywise scenes.
Yeah, yeah.
But still, the Tim Curry as Pennywise is so iconic. But yeah.
I have a love hate relationship with it as a book and as a movie. Uh, I have read, I've listened to it twice all the way through throughout my life, and there's an element of brilliance in that book, but you have to trample through a lot of shit to get there.
Yeah, I was gonna say what keeps bringing you back? Like that's a giant book to read
Yeah.
again.
Well, and that's why I listened to it because it takes too damn long to
Yeah.
read. Uh, and like you, I'm a slow reader, although apparently not as slow as you are.
Yes.
But you also have a young child, so that yeah, it's give and take there. But no, it's the idea of the evil that inhabits the town. It's he always does this with his books. He gets a really fascinating idea and never pays any attention to it.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think that's true. I mean, I haven't really read a lot of Stephen King, but just judging from the movies that have been made about his stuff, um, there's good ideas, and then there's just some bad executions of these things.
Yeah,
So, but Stephen King is very prolific as far as writing. So, who am I to
and no
judge?
one will see clowns and or sewer drains the same way ever again.
Yeah, he's had his impact.
Yeah.
Uh, there's a third elephant in the room, Blake. I don't know if we've
Oh,
already talked about it too.
I feel a lot of elephants.
Yeah, I know. How did we not see them? They're big. I don't understand it.
Oh, are they some of those miniature ones?
Oh, mini elephants. Yeah.
Mini elephants in the room.
Yeah.
We could have several mini elephants in the room. We
Many,
wouldn't even
many,
know it.
many elephants. I feel like that is like a tongue twister.
What's the
Um,
what? So what's the third elephant?
well, this may come as a shock to you, but this is our last episode on the free plus tier of Zencastr.
Oh shit!
I don't know if you got the email, but we're being upgrade or promoted
We're not
to.
being promoted. We have to pay to be promoted.
No, I don't know. It reminds me. It was some like nice way of saying that they're kicking us off of basically the tools that we're using. But it reminds me. I remember a friend of mine worked at Best Buy way back when, and when they got fired for using their employee discount too much, they would call it being promoted to customer. And that's always stuck in my mind. So,
That's amazing.
so I was trying to connect that there, but yeah, Zencastr is, which for those who don't know, because you don't see us, you don't see the Zencastr logo in the boxes that we are, but we use Zencastr to do our recording, which is fine. Uh, the best part about it was that it was free and we could use it to make our low effort podcast.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now it's not. But we're also maybe a bit too lazy right now to research other options. So, where we're at right now is we have a time limit. But I don't know if Blake realizes the time limit is actually for the entire month. So this is maybe
awesome.
This is maybe where we have a big problem. I didn't look into how how expensive it is to go to the next tier, the premium tier or whatever. But we might have to.
There's cheaper ways to do it. I can
Well,
guarantee you.
yeah, we'll have to do some brainstorming here. But yeah, us boys have a 2-hour time limit every month, and if you have listened or even just seen the lengths of our episodes, that is going to be a problem. So we'll have to spend some time solving it.
As I told Jamison before we got on, although I did not at the time know that was our monthly limit, I told him, well, either we finish up in 2 hours or we have a hard stop.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's all going up regardless.
Just keep on going. Keep on recording. Never stop.
Never stop, never stopping. So, Jamison, let's get into the movie. We're hitting the 40-minute mark, which is usually around the time that we actually talk about what we came here to talk about. We don't want to bore our poor listeners with any more shenanigans where we talk about how shitty Ari Aster is or how much we cry like little babies at movies and all the other things. Let's get into killing ladies.
Yes.
That has never happened in you know that this is a fictional film when you know that no ladies have ever been harmed in the history of mankind.
In the making of any movies.
Well, definitely not in the making of any movies, but alone the rest of the world.
Don't they add that subscript to the end right after they talk about pets? They're like, no pets.
No ladies were killed in the
also,
making of the film.
No ladies were killed.
Do you think that the lady in this movie deserved to be killed?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, I was just asking. It was an honest question.
So, I mean, maybe we should talk about that title. Okay, let's give some setup to the movie. Okay, what is the movie about? And
it's about 5 bumbling burglars who use an old lady's house to plan out and disguise their heist. And she ruins it. And then they have to try to kill her so that she doesn't give away their secret. But they fumble that because they suck.
Yes.
And they end up killing themselves or getting killed.
Mm-hmm. And they get sent to Garbage Island.
Garbage Island or Trainland.
Trainland. Is this secret knowledge for people who have seen the original?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes, it's a train in the original because it takes place in the merry old city of London.
I knew that much. I knew that it was a British movie, whereas in
they
the
dump
remake,
the bodies over the side onto empty train cars. Yep. But no Trash Island, which is very much a Coen Brothers type of thing because they like to inject a little bit of funky religion into their movies. Just to, Hades, get that religious imagery in there,
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, the biblical idea of hell is actually just a garbage pit.
Yep.
According to the Hebrew. according to the smart people who know Hebrew.
That would make sense. I think I would hate living in a garbage pit
Yeah, it would
for
suck.
eternity. It
Yep,
would
for
be
eternity.
pretty terrible.
Yep.
Um. So, okay, the name comes from the fact that they try to kill a lady, but it's a little bit of a goof because none of them are actually successful lady
Yep.
killers.
Nope.
Um,
In either film.
in either film. So, Blake, what did you think of the Coen Brothers' worst film?
So, being the contrarian that I normally try to be, with conviction, I've been told. Whenever I spout my contrarian viewpoints, I usually have conviction behind it. I'm being honest in my contrarianness. But I went into this film thinking, oh, this will be good. This is Coen Brothers. It's not ever going to let me down. You know, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. And lo and behold, the first third to half, I was laughing pretty hard, especially whenever Marlon Wayans was kept saying that what's his name brought his bitch to a Waffle House.
Oh,
I For some reason that just made me giggle for a long time. Uh,
I forget his name in the movie, but it's John Jonah Jameson.
yeah,
Uh,
it's J.K. Simmons, but
J.K. Simmons, yeah.
But man, I don't know why it made me laugh so much. But whenever he just kept saying it, I was just it got me every time. There were several really hilarious parts in the beginning of that movie. Once we actually got down to the heist and the subsequent trying to kill the lady, it lost a lot of steam for me.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
but I will say, compared to the 1955 one, which by my estimation had no steam from the beginning,
Hmm.
I think it was an improvement.
Okay.
So I went into the 1955 one thinking, oh, this will easily be better. You know, most of the time the original is, generally speaking, better because they're relying on less technology. They're not taking the easy way out. They're relying on the actors to actually act instead of green screens and all this good stuff. Blah blah blah. Yeah, all these highfalutin, paid, critical ways of looking at things. And I came out and I was like, yeah, that was not good. That wasn't good. I
Hmm.
don't think either one is good. I I I think the Coen Brothers one improved, and I think it has its charms. I think the original has its charms too, but neither achieve goodness.
Yeah, I
What are your
think
thoughts, Jameson?
so. My thoughts were going in. I knew it was the worst, and I'm putting that in scare quotes. Coen Brothers movie, and coming out, I still think it's the worst Coen Brothers film. I still think it's at the bottom. I don't know if I think it's bad as much as I just think, oh, that was fine. Weirdly, I took a little bit warming up to it, and I thought that it got more interesting kind of near the end during the
How
times that they were
fascinating.
trying to kill the old lady. I you know in kind of reading old reviews about this, I and watching it again too, it fits into, so it's kind of like um Coen Brothers, they make, screwball comedies, and they make, dark comedies, and then they make, you know, I actually kind of feel like all of their movies are comedies. Even like
Oh,
some of
easily.
some of the darker ones, like No Country for Old Men. Uh, oh,
Blood Simple.
yeah. There's always a very funny aspect to how the characters are kind of bumbling around, or like in the case of No Country for Old Men, I think like how I don't know how like terrifying the character is almost makes you want to laugh. Especially
Yeah.
with how like goofy he looks and things like that. There's always these idiosyncrasies that kind of stick out to me as funny in their movies.
Mm-hmm.
But one of their modes, and I'll say like Raising Arizona, uh, Oh Brother Where Art Thou, those both kind of fit into this mode of almost Looney Tunes esque.
Buster Scruggs.
Yeah, Buster Scruggs, and and not all of their movies kind of fit into that kind of wacky, extra wacky.
No.
And I feel like this movie just they're going for broke with that. But that being said, it doesn't feel that zany to me until near to the end. Like I feel like it takes some
That's fair.
it outside of Tom Hanks' character, like that, like he's if you're a fan of Knives Out and those
Yeah.
movies, you should check out Ladykillers just for Tom Hanks's performance, because
Yeah.
he's dialing in the foghorn leghorn, like
One and his appearance, his facial appearance, is straight from the original.
Oh,
Like
really?
the slightly buck teeth, like he is mimicking Alec Guinness
Oh,
in the
cool.
way Alec Guinness plays it. Yeah, just not Southern. Alec
Yeah.
Guinness is very much a bourgeois Londoner. So,
Yeah.
but it's that slightly drawn bucktooth, like almost lisp, um, means of speaking that Tom Hanks is kind of getting at. Uh, I I appreciate Tom Hanks's attempt in this movie. I think it was something different for Tom Hanks.
He goes for it. He goes for
Yeah, he
broke.
does.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like kind of that zany aspect, but I think that they just do such a better job at nailing that feeling, and also connecting it to, I don't know, something deeper in both
Yeah,
Raised in Arizona and Oh Brother Where Art Thou, and then also like even so this movie was kind of at the lull of their career too, because they had just done Intolerable Cruelty, which is actually a really really funny movie. Like I think
never seen it.
Intolerable Cruelty is much funnier than this movie. But both of these movies are kind of like thought of as lower tier, and so
Yeah,
they make these two, and then afterwards they come out with or not Oh Brother Where Art Thou. The next one after this one is No Country for Old Men, which is just people think that's their greatest. Oh, an aside, I think that we should do Is the Book Better Than the Movie with No Country for Old Men. I've thought about this, and I know we had talked about doing it with Night of the Hunter, but people
hmm
don't have strong opinions about Night of the Hunter, the book, or the author. But I feel like in this case, you have Cormac fucking McCarthy and the Coen brothers
The
going
Coen fucking brothers.
going
That
head
sounded bad.
well, going head to head, and I think that's a compelling choice.
Okay. I'm down. I've never actually read the book because I read like a chapter and it was almost word for word the movie, and I was like, I've seen the movie.
Well, yeah. So that'll be interesting. If the movie is just literally an interpretation of the book, does that make it better? Like,
Well, and the book was if I'm not mistaken, the book was originally a screenplay.
I believe that's true. I don't know the history that well, but I think someone
Unlike The
told me.
Counselor, which was a screenplay.
Did you like The Counselor?
Never saw it.
Oh, I did see it. I liked it.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I liked it. I don't think people like it that much, but I thought it was good.
Well, let me guess, the paid critics didn't like it either.
Some paid critics liked it. I think it was split.
Oh wow. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I wonder if the people who liked it didn't get paid. And
Maybe.
they were like, screw it, I'm gonna tell my actual opinion.
Maybe. So back to the movie. I felt like it started to pick up, but by the time it started to pick up for me, there was like a couple minutes left, and it didn't clench anything, so it wasn't.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and the typical Coen Brothers kind of tone felt shoehorned in. Like, it's one of those things like there's a reason why the Coen Brothers don't do remakes of movies, because they already have brilliant imaginations without remaking movies. And I think they were trying too hard to remake this movie instead of just doing something different with it, or just doing something else. um, because if you watch either film, you know what the storyline of the other film is. It's not like they strayed that far away from it. Um, the main difference is that it's London, and the old one, it's the South, uh, like Kentucky, something like that, Tennessee, something like that, in
I
the
thought it
in the new
was.
one.
I thought it was Mississippi, but
Yeah, Mississippi, probably Mississippi. And then the cast of Coen Brothers movie is more diverse as far
yeah,
as like the different types of people. Now, there's a dummy in both, but the dummy in the Coen Brothers is like way more idiotic than the one in the old one. But that was for comic effect, and that actor did a stellar job of playing that role. So,
yeah.
um, and actually, that is the one thing I do like about the Coen Brothers version, is making, so it's not necessarily different from the original, but I feel like they make it more pointed in the Coen Brothers one. Is that the smartest person in the group of thieves is the dumb one,
Mm.
uh, because he's the one who recognizes like that this is not good. He's the one. He's the heart of the
He
crew.
he
Um,
has like moral intelligence,
yeah,
right?
yeah. He actually has an actual conscience.
Yeah,
Um, and it's the same in the old one, but I feel like being the Coens, they want to really point that out in their version. So they give him that kind of that last moment where he accidentally shoots himself. what he says to Tom Hanks in that last moment is more than the guy in the 1955 one does get. Um, but yeah, I think those are the kinds of things that the Coen Brothers are really good at, and not only religious imagery, but also kind of these Flannery O'Connor elements where it's like
Yeah.
showing the either the worst people or the dumbest people being the heroes of the tale.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones, like, it's the idea of, the first being the last, all the backwards nature of, biblical, imagery and kingdom language and whatnot. And they both, Flannery O'Connor was known for notoriously making the villain the most interesting, most faithful character in her stories, and I think Coen's tend to do that as well.
Yeah. I
So I mean,
I was going to say like Flannery O'Connor
yeah,
when you were talking about it. Yeah, I've tried to convince my friends that the Coen Brothers and Flannery O'Connor have a lot in common. But
I don't know why the Coen brothers haven't done a Flannery O'Connor
I
story
don't
or movie.
I
To
don't
be honest,
either. I think it would be,
I mean that is
chef
like
chef's kiss.
perfect wheelhouse.
Yeah. I think they would nail it too. But yeah, yeah, man. Oh, now I'm just thinking about that. Now I'm just daydreaming about
Yeah.
about a Flannery O'Connor story being adapted. Um, yeah, but yeah, he's also he has one other point in the movie of intelligence too when they're at the Waffle Hut and they're
Mhm.
trying to like figure out how to how to oh so the Wayne brother, his character gets fired from the casino which they're trying to steal from, but they still need an
Mhm.
inside man. And so they're all kind of discussing like, well, how do we get him his job back? How do we convince his boss? And then that same character's like, well, why don't we just bribe him? Wouldn't that work? And then they're like, oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. But
That's hilarious.
yeah, yeah, it was. I really liked the imagery of Trash Island.
Yes, that is a very compelling image. I
Yeah,
just
and
wish they had done more with it.
I liked it. I liked it because like, it kept showing up when they were trying to get rid of the dirt. Like they had to go out and they had to, send their stuff to Trash Island. But
Hmm.
then, the fatefulness of they all also ended up on Trash Island, no
Yeah.
matter, even the people who they, thought that they weren't going to, and the people who almost were saved by their own clothing items and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But it still wasn't enough. They were still pulled to Trash Island. So
Well, and I didn't think about it until we started talking about Flannery O'Connor and biblical imagery and whatnot in this movie. But one of the final scenes is the cat, the old lady's cat,
yeah,
delivering the final appendage of the burglars to the moat or the boat that's going to Trash Island,
yeah,
the finger. And the image in my head when I was thinking about that is that it's the idea of you would be better to pluck out your own eye than to suffer, whatever the verse is. I can't remember how it goes, but it's this
yeah,
idea that like it's better to just take off an appendage that it is to sin in this way. And in my mind, I'm thinking that cat is making sure that that last appendage is being tossed with the rest of it. It's like tossing that final, plucking that eye out, and
Cutting that last finger off. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I guess overall, I don't know. I connected more like talking about it with you. Like I feel like these ideas are more alive than they were when I was watching it.
Yeah.
Which,
And I think that's the problem.
yeah, which is it's so unfortunate because you almost wish you could go back because you know I know it sounds like the Coen Brothers are so prolific; they have these 18 movies, but like I like recently watched almost all of them,
Mm-hmm.
and I just wish that there were more.
Yeah.
And so I like want to go back and be like, well, could you guys remake this and give us like a director's cut that's a little bit better, or
Yeah. Exactly.
and so yeah, I was like, I'll there's still nuggets, and maybe maybe it'll stick with me as time goes on or something like that.
But
But
that's the unfortunate thing about it is that the interesting aspects of the movie are bringing in the remainder of Coen Brothers catalog into conversation with it instead of
yes,
the movie itself. And that's partially just being the Coen Brothers. All their movies are in conversation with each other. It's kind of what they do. It's kind of their whole. It's why people love the Coen Brothers is because it almost feels of one piece or one. I I don't like the term universe um, because that just has it's fraught with
sure, but
but it does feel of one narrative kind of range with the rest of their films and so but this one feels particularly prone to the only interesting things about it is if you bring in what you know about other Coen Brothers movies
yeah, yeah,
into this film and not anything in the film itself. So, except
yeah.
for like maybe an image here or a dialogue here or something like that.
I think I agree with that, and I think that's really kind of a good way to put it too, and kind of showcases why like okay, yeah, this is the worst one because all the other ones you have to kind of bring in,
Yeah.
but that Coen Brothers universe idea has also been played out on TV too.
Yes.
Um,
Of course.
and I think we're both fans
Oh
of
yeah.
that show.
Although,
It-
yeah, easily. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen all the Coen Brothers movies like you have. There's still probably 3 or 4 that I've are still blind spots for me. Intolerable Cruelty being one of them. Because I remember it getting panned so heavily at that time that I never did see it because of that. Part of me wonders if, like, Coen Brothers have always been kind of these quirky filmmakers, and they were kind of indie before indie was a thing.
yeah,
Um, or like not some indie's always been a thing, but the terminology of being an indie darling or something like that, they were kind
sure.
of an indie darling before that was a thing.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and almost feels like this and maybe Intolerable Cruelty, even though I haven't seen it, were their attempt at like breaking through the mainstream because they have the gloss of mainstream features, and it wasn't like I can see how Oh Brother is kind of in that vein too, and just like No Country for Old Men kind of is, but I feel like all the other movies around those that like pair that patch there is pretty indie. Like it's
yeah. Well,
Well,
I
Hail Caesar has gloss, but it's gloss to make a point about Hollywood.
I mean, it is, yeah, I guess it's interesting. And, and the idea of indie darling, I think fits because like, or like before, like
Yeah,
they were like 90s indie darlings,
yeah,
when you think of indie directors in the 90s, usually like the main one that comes up is Quentin Tarantino,
yeah,
right? So
of
that's
course.
like he kind of defined the terms. And I actually think the Coen brothers are like right there behind him, and this is due to a single movie too, and that is The Big Lebowski. uh,
Yes.
if you go to any college dorm, you're going to see a couple posters. You're going to see Pulp
Yeah.
Fiction. You're going to see, I can't think of another good one except The Big Lebowski. That's also going to be there. So, um, these are quintessential like college dude movies, and I feel like that was kind of the definition of like '90s indie, and you know I do think that like that I don't know if it wasn't until like later that Big Lebowski cemented as like one of the most mainstream Coen Brothers movies, because I think that and Oh Brother Where Art Thou are probably their biggest like culturally influencing
Yeah.
movies, because
Yeah.
with Big Lebowski, you have kind of this cult film status that grew a religion out of it, like a pseudo religion,
Mm-hmm.
like dudism. Um,
Dudism. Yeah.
it's a thing, um, and uh, and then Oh Brother Where Art Thou, for almost completely different things, but like if you think about all of the people who like old timey music today, it's
Yeah.
probably because of the Soggy Bottom Boys.
Yep.
So, like, that was such a big hit. It actually won. Like, I care for the
Well,
Grammys probably
that's
less
because yeah,
than
yeah.
anything.
That's because T-Bone Burnett was behind it,
Yeah, yeah.
and everything that guy touches pretty much turns to gold.
But yeah, I care for the Grammys less than any other award show. But it did win, you know, album
Mm.
of the year, which is, you know, at least has cultural significance, I guess. But
So I would almost add to that I'm not entirely sure, but what one could make an argument that the album is more influential than the movie.
yeah, yeah. No,
Because I remember the album way more than I do the movie. Everyone at my church knew the album way more than they did the movie.
yeah. But I guess for me, I still can't like. I think there was like a music video that went with it where you could see George
Hmm.
Clooney, and so there was enough tie-in to where I do feel like the movie kind of um,
Yeah.
gets to be part of the conversation with the music. So, you
Hmm.
know, I I think I do think maybe you're right that they were trying to ride kind of this mainstream success, because Intolerable Cruelty and Ladykillers came right after Oh Brother Where Art Thou. But I think that this is a weird way to do that.
Yeah.
I don't I because both Intolerable Cruelty and Ladykillers, and even Oh Brother Where Art Thou, they're pilfering from old movies, old screwball comedies
Yep.
that weren't really popular anymore. Like
Yeah.
Oh Brother Where Art Thou, the name actually comes from the movie that the main character in Sullivan's Travels, he's trying to make the movie Oh Brother Where Art Thou, and
Ah.
um, and you know what's interesting about that movie is he like it's again kind of this bumbling journey where he's it's a pretty funny character because he almost is. I'm trying to think if there's a connection um in Hail Caesar to this character, because this character in Sullivan's Travels, he wants to make a movie for the common man, and he's tired of making these serious movies. And or no, he's tired of making these comedies. So he's a comedy director. He's tired of making comedies. I got it flipped, and he wants to make a movie for the common man, and he wants it to be very serious and
Hmm.
for everyone. And then you know, he decides that the best way to do this is basically to try to dress up like a bum and pretend that he's a bum and get like real life experience. And then he just gets the shit kicked out of him. Uh, and it's like a terrible experience. And then he gets arrested and he gets put in prison camp. And then there's this really compelling scene near the end where the prisoners all go to a church, a black church in the South, which is weird because they're not even. I don't understand like the geography of this movie because
Hmm.
it takes place in like LA. He's like an LA director. And then at some point he's in the South. It doesn't need to mean anything. But they all the prisoners go to watch a movie at this black church, and it's a comedy. It's like a Tom and Jerry movie, and everyone is busting up laughing, and it's just really intense, like how much people are laughing. And he like looks around and he realizes this is the everyman, and this is like what they want to watch. Like they don't want to watch some dumb interpretation of their lives by someone who never has experienced that. So I don't know where I was getting at with that, but that's
I don't
where.
either, but I am infatuated with this idea, whatever it is.
But so that movie, he was trying to make the movie "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou." I guess that's what I was trying to say, and
Yeah,
um, and I think the Coen Brothers, I do think that they were trying to like embrace comedy in this era. I
yeah,
think they had made kind of these like they had made Fargo, they had made The Big Lebowski, and yes, those are comedies, but they're hipstery. They're
and
pretty
they're
like
they're super gritty,
they're
dark, dry wit. Like
yeah
it's
yeah they're
they're
almost
quote unquote intellectual comedies.
exactly they're almost like what you would call you know coastal comedies or something like
Yeah.
that. But
Hmm.
one interesting thing about the Coen brothers is like I always just thought that they were like New York elites, for some reason,
Hmm.
like, most movie directors are. So, not a big
Yeah.
deal. Whatever. But they actually grew up in the Midwest. So, they're
That doesn't.
from
That shouldn't surprise me,
no.
knowing their type of humor and their penchant for very much interacting with religion
Yeah.
in just about every movie they've made. Like it's always there.
Yeah. Yeah, they grew up in Minnesota, in a suburb in Minnesota, and
That's fascinating.
yeah, and they went to all through high school, I think, and then they went to New York when they were, you know, going to college, but
Hmm.
and found success. But yeah, they especially because a lot of their movies take place in the South, and then a couple of them take place in the Midwest, and they seem to have more of an open geography than a lot of other directors, where like, you know, tons of movies just take place in New York
Yeah.
or LA, because
Mhm.
that's where everybody is who's making movies. But you know, if you look at the Coen Brothers movies, they take place all over the place. You know,
I
Arizona.
have to, and I have to honestly thank the Coens and Paul Thomas Anderson for shining the light on West Texas, because now every movie is made in West Texas. Every movie is set in West Texas.
Well, wait. Do you think that's West Texas? Okay. I was gonna say,
It's not Panhandle. No, no, not quite. We're not that cool yet. But West Texas, it's close enough.
yeah. Um, I was gonna say, was that maybe the influence of Linkletter too, or Linklater?
Yeah, probably so.
But
Although,
he's Austin, which is
yeah,
not
he's
West
Austin.
Texas. Yeah,
No, no, it's Austin is its own little island in the rest of the state.
yeah,
It's the very much the liberal part of Texas,
yes. Um,
surrounded by a bunch of conservatives, but with the stray Democrat and the ever strayer socialist abounding. So,
yeah,
but yeah, no, I mean, I feel like once you got the double threat of No Country and There Will Be Blood in one year, it opened up this whole new landscape. And then like I started seeing like Hell or High Water and like I mean, there's that new movie with what's his name from The Office called Vengeance, I think it's called, or something like that.
oh,
Uh, BJ Novak,
oh,
where
yeah,
he's the podcast host. That's in West Texas. Like it's now opened up this whole there's interesting stories that can happen in West Texas, and then of course Friday Night Lights, which was West Texas. So
of course,
there's a lot of stuff.
yeah, yeah.
West Texas, man, gotta love it. Just wait, one day, the Panhandle,
It
one day.
it will rise. Did you
It
ever?
has one famous scene at the end of Castaway. The crossroads scene is filmed in the Panhandle of Texas.
I don't think I remembered that. It's honestly been a while since I've seen Castaway.
Yeah, me too. But it was just super exciting at the time. Hey, I know where that's at. I've been there.
Um,
Yeah.
there's an album that I listen to that I think is one of, it's like, do you ever have like these kind of perfect 10 albums where they just are odd and they're kind of one-off albums?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
did you ever listen to Lift to Experience?
No.
Uh it's this weird ass shoegaze slash
Okay.
space rock te-
You have my attention.
Texas band. Um,
Okay.
okay, you're
Okay.
you're gonna get really into this. I can tell.
I'm already getting hard.
So the album is a concept album called the Texas Jerusalem Crossroads, and it's about the second coming of Christ in Texas.
God.
And it's West Texas boys, and they're a
Where
band.
has how have I not known about this?
I don't know. I don't know how it's not a bigger deal, because it's actually it's incredible. It's really good
Okay, I
music.
need you to remind me to listen to this tomorrow.
Yeah.
I will find it and I will buy it sight unseen.
Yeah. It's it's about like a rock band who makes a deal with God to basically be prophets for his mission as long as he makes them rock stars. So that's kind of like the story, and it's it's insane. So
That sounds amazing.
yeah.
I've not, it's been a long time since I've been this excited about something.
Like I get excited talking about it. So I usually try to temper people's like expectations of things, but
Yeah.
I think this album is like I think about it from time to time and I just think like, wow, it's really amazing that thing exists because the band like disbanded and just it was just this weird one-off thing. Like the guy who was kind of the leader, I think a couple years back they played a couple shows, but like that was it. It fizzled out after that. But yeah, the guy who is kind of the front man, Josh T. Pearson, he has recorded a couple things here and there after, but
Hmm.
nothing quite like this album. So
Was
all
that the only album they put out?
they have like an EP, but yeah, this is the only album that they put out. So
That is even better.
yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll remind you and send it
Okay.
to you.
I will be
Uh,
listening to that along with the new DM Stith and the new Black Thought album.
ooh, I
L.
pre-ordered the new
Michael's Affair and Black Thought.
All Michael's
Pretty
Affair.
good. L. Michael's Affair.
Mm,
He's this kind of soul hip hop instrumental producer guy that his stuff is amazing. But him and Black Thought created an album.
okay, cool. Uh, I won't be listening to that, but I will be listening to the new
How
DM.
dare you, sir?
There's so much music. I don't know. Um, I will be listening to the new DM Stith album tomorrow when that drops. So
Yes. Yeah. Both of us are fans. Hey, if any of our listeners ever want to reach out and talk obscure ass music with us, we are more than down to talk about obscure music. Because I feel like Jamison and I are two of the only people that can understand each other when we talk about music.
yeah, no. So it's actually surprising because I don't know if the first time I don't remember, but like um, when I met you online or whatnot, you had I remember like Lost in Osmosis. I still think you use that handle every once in a while.
Yeah.
Um, uh, but you use Lost in Osmosis, and that is a reference to an old Earthsuit album.
Yep.
Um, and I immediately got that reference because being a good Christian boy who there wasn't a lot of good Christian music that I knew about, I, of course, gravitated to Earthsuit, which is a band that probably no one knows what we're talking about when we say Earthsuit. But
They know what came out of Earthsuit, though.
yeah, if you've ever heard of the band Mute Math, then you basically know what Earthsuit would sound like if you added rap to it, which
Yeah.
is maybe a little goofy, and it does get goofy, but it's
Oh,
also
yeah.
pretty inventive, and at least it was ambitious.
Oh,
So
easily ambitious.
super
There's a lot
ambitious.
of underground Christian music that was ambitious, even if they didn't quite nail it.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they
No,
nailed it. They nailed it, but that was Jesus.
they nailed
They
him.
nailed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds bad.
Ah, yeah. But yeah, so Earthsuit, I still pop that album in every once in a while.
Oh yeah,
I skip around some. I don't know if I listen to every track, but there's still some really good good music from it.
But you do listen to the rap one, right? Because it's glorious in all the ways.
There's a couple rap ones. There's like the first song has some pretty interesting rap on it, and
But the
then
most famous song that they had
is it
has,
against the grain?
I think so. I think that's what it's called. Man,
Yeah.
I need to listen to it again. It's been a long time. But yeah, I just remember seeing Paul Meany in this like weird ass space get up rapping. And I was like, wow.
I did see Mute Math once, but
I
they were
saw them
on.
too.
I saw them on Warp Tour, and they played while Under Oath played, and at that time, Under Oath was much bigger than them, and there were 12 people watching Mute Math, and it was
That's
awesome.
unfortunate.
Well, no,
Oh, they're great.
It was actually really fortunate because they played
Yeah.
just like they were playing to 100 people, and it was really good. So
Mute Math, rest in peace.
yeah, I think I liked their earlier output more than their later output, but you know,
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I feel like this conversation, this is how much we like this movie. Because we are bouncing off like a pong ball, just back and forth. We're hitting, like, as soon as the pong ball hits like the middle of the screen, we're talking about the movie. But then we pong right over to the other side and do something else. And we're just like,
well, Blake, I have a confession. I watched this movie like 3 weeks ago, and I didn't really do anything to prepare. So part of
I
that,
watched this movie like 3 weeks ago as well because I screwed up and did so. Here's the if the listeners want to know why we're only releasing one episode this month, it is because yours truly had in his mind two separate narratives that eventually collided. I had a narrative where I was going to record with Jamison on our typical Thursday night, and a separate narrative where I was going to celebrate my anniversary, my wedding anniversary with my wife on the same night. But for whatever reason, those two narratives did not actually cross paths until about 2 days before. I was like, oh shit. Well, we all know who's going to lose out in this.
yeah,
So I asked, hey, Jameson, is it possible we push it to the weekend or next week? And Jameson was like, hell no, bro. My wife has a birthday next week. I got shit to do.
wives, am I right?
I couldn't pull off the weekend. And then so yeah, we were like, well, just kick it to another week. So yeah, it's been about 3 weeks for both of us. Although I did watch the 1955 one 2 nights ago. So it is actually fresher in my mind. It actually jogged my memory of the Coen Brothers version because they're so close. So,
but Blake, where did you go instead of recording a podcast? Didn't you go to a special location?
I went to a place called Monkey Island.
And was that in the ocean? An island, a real island in the ocean?
It was in the water, but it was not in the ocean. It was called Monkey Island. It was a golf resort called Shangri-La in the middle of nowhere, Styx, Oklahoma.
Wow. I didn't even know they had monkeys in Oklahoma.
They don't.
Oh.
And so we don't know why it was called Monkey Island, but they have a whole town that this couple that started a town, I guess, in that area. They built a whole old-fashioned community with a bunch of log cabins and a church, and for no reason. But we went to visit that because that's the kind of weird ass shit my wife and I do when we're on weird excursions. For instance, we went to the Polynesian Cultural Center when we went to Hawaii. Don't ever go to Polynesian Cultural Center. It's a cover for the Mormons.
Oh.
There is a temple right behind the Polynesian Cultural Center, and you will get volunteers asking if you want to go to the temple.
That's
Yeah. It's the BYU hub.
That's what I was gonna say. That's like something I know about Hawaii is that there's a BYU in Hawaii and then there's a BYU in Utah. So there must be a lot of Mormons.
It's a special place. We left. We actually left because we were a little scared of how weirdly cultish it felt.
But you didn't get any cult vibes from Monkey Island, right?
No. It's just a bunch of rich white people playing golf.
Do you play golf?
I don't play golf so much as landscape engineering.
Okay.
Yeah. I like to rearrange a little dirt here and there.
Okay. But systematically and...
Yes. And with force.
Yes.
And with bad aim.
Well, Blake, I'm glad you brought this up because I wanted to personally on the air forgive you for not planning better, I guess.
Oh, I appreciate that. It had really been worrying me the last couple weeks that I had to postpone and that we were screwing up our yearly schedule. Because I clearly cannot handle a calendar correctly. Yeah. And so
I mean, if we don't record, ever, we're not going to hit our minute macros for
That's true.
How much we need to record. Actually,
hey Jamison, would you like to know how many minutes we have left this month at this current moment?
At this current moment, we have 24 minutes and 20 seconds.
How did you see the 20 seconds? Oh, you're looking at the clock.
I can see the countdown, and I know it's 2 hours, so I'm just subtracting in my mind. I'm cheating.
I was like, how did you do that? What kind of magical mysticism are you using?
I'm cheating with subtraction.
Yeah. I didn't care for this movie.
Yeah, it was, and I think I wouldn't say I cared for it, but I just thought it was fine. It was fine on the lower end of
It was more of like it's fine. It wasn't like it was fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
Fine.
I do like that it still maintains some Coen Brothers nature to it, but I think what you said is an important distinction with some of the rest of the movies is like, yes, maybe with all of them you bring in certain aspects, but this one, it really pushes you to want to talk about the other movies more. Yeah. So it's
maybe a good way to wrap up the conversation about this film is for each of us to give our top Coen Brothers film.
Okay.
I'll let you go first.
So this one changes for me on a regular basis because there's only one Coen Brothers film that I have a tattoo of. And that is, for the listeners who can't see it, that is, I have a woodpecker on my left. Yeah, I can't do rights and left on the fly. On my left bicep, And it's kind of a similar placement and similar style to what Nicolas Cage's character has in Raising Arizona. And
Nice.
it even says hi on it, Hi, which is Nicolas Cage's name, which I've always taken because he uses his initials, and
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't like his name. Um, I've always taken that as a Flannery O'Connor reference to
That's hilarious.
O.E. Parker. Um,
Yep.
but um, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, I love that movie, and that movie connects with me really well. The more I watch it, and so that's my heart says that's my top, but oh, oh, country for no men, no, no country for old men. Um, I think that's the one that my brain says is their best. Um,
Well, not only that, but it's eminently rewatchable.
it's so good.
Yeah,
But I think for me, those two fight for a top spot.
gotcha. I think I'm in a similar place, although I'm going to trade out Raising Arizona with Burn After Reading.
Burn after reading.
Burn After, and I know that tends to be a pretty uncommon opinion because I think while it's Burn After the Reading is not considered among their worst, it's probably lower mid tier for most people. So, but I adore Burn After Reading. I adore how they came about writing it. I adore the execution. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's one of my favorite Brad Pitt roles.
Yes.
I love it, and the only movie that kind of runs up against it as far as my favorite is No Country for Old Men for exactly the same reasons as you said, because I think it probably is their best movie, and it's just so damn rewatchable.
It's
Whereas Burn After Reading, as much as I love it, I don't want to watch it all that often.
yeah, that's
So,
true. It's been a while since I've rewatched it, but I do love Burn After Reading. So you have no shame for that choice. Like I
yeah.
think that's a great choice. Um, Speaking of Burn After Reading and Brad Pitt's role, you've seen the first season of Fargo, right?
I've seen all the seasons of Fargo.
Okay. I've
I'm a
not
Fargo fanatic.
I've not seen the fourth season. I need to still watch that. Um but I wanted to talk to you about the first season
Okay.
because I've always taken uh Dennis Glenn what's his last name? Um Dennis from Always Sunny.
Oh, yeah.
Glenn Howerton.
Glenn Howerton. Yeah.
I've always taken his role as kind of a remake of Brad Pitt's role in Burn After Reading,
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
and
Yeah, I can see that.
and I think for as much as I love Brad Pitt in that movie, I think Glenn Howerton kind of edges it out for me, and it's just they just do such a great job of this, and I think Brad Pitt, like, there's a very shocking scene with him, and
Hmm.
instead of playing it for shocks, they kind of have a similar arc with Glenn Howerton's character, but it's played for there's so much more, I guess, like sadness in it,
Yeah.
and that's it's unique how it kind of slightly changes that, but
Yeah.
anyway.
I mean, the whole first season of the TV show Fargo is almost a. Not only is it kind of a reworking of the movie in a lot of ways, but it's also kind of bringing in like these versions of characters from
Yeah.
Coen Brothers films, and then every season after that kind of becomes its own thing, apart from, even though they're producers on it. Um, I am going to drop what may really frustrate and anger a lot of people. I think the TV show might be better than the movie.
Then the movie Fargo.
Yes.
Well, yeah. I don't think you can compare them that well. I do think that I rewatched the movie Fargo and I like a couple weeks ago and
Yeah.
I was very impressed with it.
Oh, it's
I
very good. Yeah, it's very
yeah.
good. It's no shade on the movie. So
Yeah.
here, please hear me. I love Fargo the movie, but I think I might like what they're doing with the show much, much more than the movie.
Well, I do think the show is maybe almost more impressive in
Yeah.
that it maintains such high quality for a longer length of time and
Well, that's
over.
also probably because he goes like years
Yeah.
without writing a new season.
Yeah, no, it's really impressive. I mean, it's almost like you had a you had this guy obsessing over this one movie just his entire life and like
Yeah,
dedicating so much space in his mind to it. And, and if you have the right person and the right, I guess work to it or genius to it, then sure, yeah, that's going to produce something really great,
hmm
if not better. Um, I do want to mention, so at the beginning, I think I mentioned this bracket. So I feel like I
yeah.
should at least wrap that up and say what movie won, because we actually haven't.
Oh,
We
I'm
had.
proud of what movie won. To
Oh
be
yeah,
honest,
we haven't mentioned it at all tonight. So
yeah,
it's
it is
actually
probably their most religious film too.
it's 100% their most religious film. And it's also their most personal film because we did mention they
Yeah,
grew up in Minnesota, and they even tried to find a suburb that looked as much as possible like the suburb that they grew up in.
they grew up
Uh,
in. Yeah,
and it, they're basically the ages of the kids in the movie, but the movie is A Serious Man, which came out.
yeah,
It was their movie after Burn After Reading, so they had just such a strong, uh, honestly, after No Country for Old Men, they didn't have any duds. Uh, it was
hmm
just a strong.
It's like they found their actual like their their bread and butter, and they just went with it.
Yeah. But A Serious Man topped our list, and I think for good reason too. It's really, really funny. And
hmm
I don't remember. I remember the first time I watched it, I didn't really get it. It was it's in 2009. I don't know, you know, uh, I don't know if I had met a Jewish person in my life at that point. So like,
Yeah,
I don't know if that humor didn't like connect for me. I hadn't really thought about that space before. And I'm older now and I just know a little bit more about the world. Uh, Job connects with me more, the book of Job, and
oh yeah,
just, you know, uh, this, this depressing, nothing is good existence and kind of fighting in the trying to maintain order in your life and it never coming about just is
yeah.
you just have to laugh at how dark it is.
hmm Yeah.
So
And I
But
would
yeah,
almost, part of me wants to say that it's probably their most profound film too. Like, there's just a lot of meaning inherent in it. Not, I mean, even if you toss aside the religious imagery, like just the setting and the time period and the community, like there's a lot going on in the interactions and the commentary that's being made in that movie. And then you add on top of that this kind of Old Testament narrative that they're kind of riffing on. Uh, it's just pretty impressive. It's pretty brilliant.
yeah, it's really good. Well, I think that's probably a good place to end this, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Do we have any final business for our listeners?
Uh, no, but we soon enough, we will have a special guest on, and we are doing our first forcing this person to watch a movie instead of letting them pick.
Yeah.
And this person will know who we are talking about when they listen to it, listen to this episode. So, yeah, prepare yourself, sir.
Forced by film.
Forced by film.
Yeah. And who knows, you guys might get another 10-minute episode because we've got 10 minutes of recording time
You just
left.
never know. I mean,
Yeah.
we're crazy.
If we have another one this month, it'll only be about 10 minutes long. So,
Yeah. So, there you go.
all right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.